Hi, I'm Maria DeSimone, a professional astrologer and the creator of InsightfulAstrology.com. Welcome to Bite-Sized Astrology, a unique cooking show where I share my love of food, all while teaching you astrology in bite-sized pieces. Today will be an interesting show because we're talking about karma. Saturn in astrology rules your karmic debt. It's the planet that represents discipline, responsibility, and structure. It's also the planet that is known for giving you some hard lessons and tests along the way to mastery. And for the next couple of years, Saturn will be transiting through the sign Libra. Libra is all about relationships. And that means from now until October of 2012, we all, as a collective, have a karmic focus on creating structure, stability, and commitment in relationships. I will tell you more about this Saturn and Libra phenomenon while I make a delicious recipe of Peach Starlight Delight. Now you're probably wondering, what is that? Interesting story. My son came home from camping a few days ago with a big bag of peaches. He went peach picking with his camp group. And I said, well, what should I do with all these peaches? I was tempted to just slice them up and put them in a nice bottle of red wine, which is a delicious way to have wine if you've never tried it. But then I threw out on my Facebook fan page, I have all these peaches, guys, what should I do with it? And floods of recipes started coming in. So I decided to pick two of them and I tried them and brought them to my family for, they were Peach Cobbler recipes, brought them to my family, and the DeSimones are wonderful critiques when it comes to food. So from that night of experimenting with Peach Cobbler, I devised this recipe that's a combination of a pie and a cobbler, all using ripe peaches. So if you want to try it, you will not be disappointed. It is very good. To make the dough for this cobbler, I'll call it a cobbler, you're going to need 2.5 cups of unbleached flour in a food processor with a tablespoon of sugar and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Pulse that together. Once you've mixed that, I want you to cut up 12 tablespoons of cold unsalted butter right into the food processor, and then you're going to pulse that until it has a cornmeal-like texture. Then you're going to add 4 to 6 tablespoons of ice cold water until it becomes a ball of dough. Then you'll take it out and you'll have a nice ball of dough, which you're going to divide into 2 discs. Wrap it in plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator for about a half an hour. When you take it out of the refrigerator, you can start rolling it out and you've got this. This is a very easy kind of a dough. We're not worried about how it looks because a cobbler is the most home style cooking you could want and nothing has to be perfect. So we're just rolling this out into a long shape that will fit my 9x13 glass baking dish. In the meantime, what you want to do is take about 8 large, beautiful peaches, slice them up with the skin on. Don't be afraid of eating the skin, it's really good. And put about a 3/4 cup of sugar around your peaches and let it stay for an hour. What's going to happen is a beautiful thick syrup will form underneath that's going to help give a nice juice to the peaches. So we've had that sitting here for about an hour. I have my first layer of my dough ready to go, and I want to make some more of the mixture that I'm going to put into this Starlight Delight. Take about a 1/2 cup to 1 cup of milk, cold milk. Add about a 1/2 cup of cinnamon sugar. If you can't find cinnamon sugar, just take fresh cinnamon and mix it into the sugar yourself at home. And then you're going to take about 1 to 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. And you might decide to add another 1/2 cup of regular granulated sugar. And you mix this up and then take some fresh nutmeg. And you're just going to grate a little bit right in here. And it smells so good. You smell the nutmeg, the vanilla, and the cinnamon, all beautiful. I like that color. This is the color you want, okay? So you're going to take the first layer of your peaches. Put some butter on your pan. Take your peaches. Very simple, this recipe. Raw. You don't need to cook them. You just take it right here, half of them, right into the pan. It's a really refreshing dessert. Take some of the syrup, pour it over, and then take a little bit of this, not too much, not even half. We're just going to splash some around just to add some more interesting flavors. And now I want to take my dough. We'll just fold it over very easily and fold it across, flatten it, and we're going to bake this first layer at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. So let me pop this in the oven, and then I'll be back to talk more about Saturn and Libra and what it means for you. So we baked the first portion of the Starlight Delight for about 20 minutes to get the first layer of dough a little bit golden. It's really not cooked through yet. It's just getting started. But I wanted to give it a little jump start because this is 2 layers. And what I'm going to do now is I've rolled out the second piece of dough, and you just roll it out to fit your pan, whatever pan you're using. And I'm going to add the second layer to this, and then we're going to bake it for a good 40 to 50 minutes in the oven. And you'll see it gets very juicy and bubbly and delicious. The crust will be thick, golden brown when it's finished. And it's just so perfect with some nice vanilla ice cream or whipped cream. Really good. So let's talk a little bit more about Saturn and Libra, because this is no minor transit. This is actually very valuable for many of you if you use it wisely, because Libra is partnerships, but it's not just personal relationships and marriage, although that is part of it. It's also business partnerships. All of your partnerships are going to be defined and structured over the next couple of years, and that is a priceless gift. Many of us are commitment phobic, and if you are, I have news for you. That's probably going to change over the next couple of years, simply because Saturn crystallizes whatever it touches. It puts a focus around whatever it is that it's transiting, and it asks you to take it seriously. We're talking realism now. So if you've been running away from commitment, all of a sudden you may be confronted with a new lesson about commitment in a partnership, business, personal, or both. That's a good thing. Don't shy away from it, because one thing about a Saturn transit is it demands your attention, your focus, and your willingness to roll up your sleeves and do the work. Saturn is a funny planet. He will always reward you, but he never rewards you while he's giving you the lessons. He gives you really tough lessons, and then after he leaves, after the transit is finished, that's when you see the benefit. That's when you see the reward. Trust me, all of you have an amazing opportunity ahead to create an enduring, stable, wonderful partnership in your life in some capacity, if you are willing to embrace these lessons now. As far as current relationships, existing relationships go, they will also be affected by this Saturn transit. Expect a test. It's time to take a look at your 30-year marriage and decide whether or not it is really stable, whether it's really meeting your needs, whether it is a true partnership. Libra is all about balance and partnership, and Libra wants equality. Saturn in Libra is going to create a test in this existing partnership for you to overcome because Saturn wants to keep it real. Saturn wants what will last, what will stand the test of time. So if your relationship has already been enduring for quite some time, but it is no longer focused, it's no longer well defined, then this will bring a test. Let's take these peaches and put them on the second layer. Just dump it right on. And we've got that syrup as well. This looks pretty watery and syrupy when you first make it, but remember, it's going to cool off and sit, and it'll thicken up. It'll definitely thicken up. But at the same time, you judge it, and if you think that it's going to be a little too watery, you don't need to add all of this extra mix here. I'm probably going to add half of it. I'm not going to add all of it. But first, I need to mix it up just a little bit more. It's nice, spicy flavor to it. Okay, so I added a little bit more, and now I'm going to take the other part of the dough and put it over. And what I need to do now is get some heavy cream that's in my refrigerator because I forgot to bring it out. I'm going to take this and I'm going to cover it. Let's do a little cut and paste here. I'll be right back. I'm going to get some heavy cream. So we're going to take some heavy cream now and pour it on top. Don't be afraid. Take your pastry brush here and just spread it all around the top. This adds to the fat content for sure, but this is not exactly a dieter's dessert. And if you're gonna have dessert, have dessert. It definitely makes it taste creamier, and it helps to add a nice balance to the crust, to the cobbler crust. Then to finish this off, I'm going to take some granulated sugar and sprinkle it on top. And this, again, pretties it up a little bit, adds to the crunch, adds to the nice top that's going to form. You have to judge this 40, maybe 50 minutes, depending on your oven. You pop it back in the oven, and we're going to see how delicious this looks when we come back. So our peach cobbler is finished cooking. It took a little bit more than 40 minutes, and I decided to raise the temperature while I was watching it cook. So I raised it to 400 degrees about halfway through, just to make sure that I got that nice golden brown crust on top. And it took a good hour to cook. This took a while. Worth the wait. Let's cut into it and see what we've got. And while I'm cutting into it, I'm just going to wrap up Saturn and Libra by mentioning that Saturn's transit through Libra will affect all of us when it comes to relationships. But remember, Saturn is now transiting a new part of your chart, and that means it's giving you a different karmic lesson in a different area of your life. To find out more about where this new karmic lesson is for your sign, please watch my special Saturn and Libra karmic report, which is available on the website or on the YouTube channel. And you can watch it for your sun sign and your rising sign to see how Saturn and Libra will be affecting you in more than one way. Let's see what we've got here. Some nice peach cobbler, double layer. My gosh, it is steaming hot. And the juices are dripping. Whoa. This is so hot. It might be too hot to bite into, but I'll do my best. I know a way to cool it off. Some vanilla ice cream. Let's put some vanilla ice cream on top. You can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. You see the peaches have cooked. They're so soft. And with the skin, it really does give it that country-ish flavor. You don't have to have the skin if you don't want it, but I've tried it with and without the skin, and I do like it with the skin. So try it. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Let's bite into this. Oh my gosh, it looks so good, and the ice cream is melting quickly. I'm trying to get everything all in one bite. Okay, I have to blow on it. This is peach heaven. You have to try it. So amazing. I am going to sit down with my peach heaven and a nice cup of coffee now, and I hope you decide to treat yourself to this amazing peach starlight delight.